Senator Beckstead. Here. Senator Buchelman. Senator Cleveland. Here. Senator Johnson.
Present.
Senator Kemmerer.
Present.
Senator Knopf.
Here.
Senator Knapp. Here. Senator Mandel.
Here.
Senator McConnell. Here. Senator Moniak. Here. Senator Perry.
Here.
Senator Pitcock.
Here.
Senator Ricks.
Here.
Senator Saheen.
Present.
How do you say your last name? Because I said someone told me I've been saying it wrong.
It's okay.
Okay. Senator Sheldon.
Here.
Senator Smith. Here. Senator Thayer.
Here.
Senator Underwood.
Here.
Senator Valencia. Present. Senator Withers.
Present.
Will everyone please rise and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Senator Pitcock.
Move to approve the minutes from last week's meeting.
Second.
Senator Pitcock moves to approve the minutes from last week's meeting, seconded by Senator Sheldon. Unanimous was called. Motion carries. Senator Valencia.
Move to approve tonight's agenda.
Seconded.
Unanimous.
Senator Valencia moves to approve tonight's agenda, seconded by Senator Withers. Unanimous was called. Motion passes. Is from the gallery that would like to approach the Senate? Please state your name and spell it for the minutes.
Sean Kelch, SHAWNKELSCH. Thank you for allowing me to talk to you tonight. First of all, I want to apologize on the blue shirt on Bingo Wednesday. Being the moderator of ASISU Speaks, I pushed that. I actually had an accident with a drink that spilled on my other shirt, so this is all I have left. It was in the car that I could change into. But a couple things I want to talk to you tonight. First is the homeless stand down. Just a reminder that it is next Saturday is when the event is, and setup is on the Friday. If we can get individuals to come out and help, a lot of the clubs and organizations have already contacted that are going to be out there. So another way for you as senators to be able to show you're leading from the front and being there and supporting community events. So we'll be there Friday from 2 until we get finished setting up, and then Saturday the volunteers were asking 7:30 till noon. 1 o'clock is when that 12 o'clock is when the actual event is over, and 2 o'clock is when we have to be out of the gym. So if you have opportunities, come donate a half an hour of your time, help out. We can definitely use as much help as possible. The other is I wanted to say thank you to all the senators that have been on the radio for ASISU Speaks. It's been an honor and privilege to have this first semester going on. It's gone really well. We've also had our first interview with our Student of the Week yesterday. It went really well. We had a lot of guests, so thank you again for your support on that. And if you have groups that you know that want to come on, let them know to contact me. I'll squeeze them in whenever we can. If you have multiple times that you want to be on the radio, for example, Courtney has been on twice now, or 3 times, something like that already this semester. So, you know, anything you guys would like as senators, this is your show. Please let us know what we can do for you if we're doing something. Any questions? Comments?
Any questions for Mr. Kelch? Thank you for your time.
Thanks.
Is there anybody else from the gallery that would like to approach the Senate? Seeing none, we will move to our announcements and correspondence. We have a group of people that would like to address the Senate. Stacy Gibson, the Director of the Equal Opportunity Affirmative Action and Diversity. Ram Edding, Program Coordinator, Diversity Resource Center. Stephanie Richardson, Assistant Director of Programming. And Janet C. Anderson of Janet C. Gender Resource Center. If you'd like to approach the Senate.
Thank you very much. We met several weeks ago with your president, and he invited us to come today and review some of the things that we reviewed with him, and he thought it would be of interest to this group. We're very happy to do this. In all my years of ISU, this is the first time I've attended a Senate meeting, so this is new experience for me as well, which is great. So as you saw, we have some very long titles there, and I want to talk to you a little bit about what my office does, and then I'll turn some time over to my colleagues to talk about what they do in their individual areas and why it's important and why we want to keep you informed as the leadership of the students. So we are very much involved in compliance, and that is in many areas. One of them is employment and the hiring process, which doesn't really have anything to do with the student hiring, but it has to do with our faculty and our staff hiring. Another thing that we do are civil rights investigations. And so if a student or a faculty or a staff member feels like they have been harassed or discriminated, we do that intake and we do those investigations. And that's something that we do for students, working with student affairs as well. One of the other things that I do is I'm the institution's Title IX coordinator. And what that means, Title IX is an important piece of civil rights legislation that was passed way back in 1972 to give men and women equal opportunity when it came to education. So back in my day, when I was a college student, that manifested itself in athletics. And so many people think that Title IX is about athletics, but it's really not. It's about education. And if any of you follow the higher education press, the Chronicle, those types of things, there's been a lot of talk lately about sexual assault and sexual harassment on college campuses and what campuses are doing about that. And so I have a team of folks, and together with representatives from student affairs, from human resources, from athletics, and soon, very soon, from the faculty, academic affairs as well. We are the folks that kind of take care of that, working together with public safety, and we're the people that do the investigations. And as far as students go, they could be subject to student conduct violations as well, but it also applies to faculty and staff. And so one of my jobs as Title IX coordinator is to make sure that our students know that those protections are in place and that we as an institution are concerned about the health and safety of everyone on our campus. And a lot of times those types of issues are framed as women's issues, but they're really not. A third of the complaints that we had last year had male victims. So it's really everyone's issue. And so I just wanted to let you know about that. We also do some happy stuff over there. It's not all violations and investigations. The last part of it is diversity, and so we have 2 diversity centers. One of those is the Janet C. Anderson Gender Resource Center, which is a really long name, but Janet C. Anderson was a dean of students who actually created the Gender Center. And this is another center. When you say gender, for some reason we think female, and that's not true. We all have a gender. And so it's for everyone. And so we're really targeting our programming to make sure that we're inclusive and that we include men. So we've been doing a lot of male-based programming, and my staff is going to talk to you about that in just a minute. The other center that we have is our Diversity Resource Center. And both of those are now in the Rendezvous building. The Diversity Resource Center is a great space. We've got space for meetings. Sometimes we have people that utilize that space for tutors. We do brown bag lunches, workshops, those types of things. There's just a workshop there tonight. When we talk about diversity, I want to make sure that we're looking at that from a very broad perspective. Diversity is more than just gender or race. Diversity is socioeconomic status, it's rural versus urban, it's the whole spectrum of what makes us different. And so that's really what we want to focus diversity on, is rather than just categorize it to some kind of 2 or 3 specific pots, we want to make sure that we have a very broad definition, because everyone has something to contribute and everyone has something that they can bring to the table. So that's really the philosophy behind what we are doing in our planning and organizing. We have some kind of bigger programs that we do. One of those is the Green Dot Bystander Program. That's tied back to Title IX, because part of our Title IX obligations are that we provide prevention education to students. We just had a great workshop last Thursday called Can I Kiss You?, where we brought a speaker in that talked about consent. That was the first time he's been on our campus in quite some time, and I think it was a very well-attended event. And the Green Dot kind of ties to that in that everyone can be a bystander and step in. And Stephanie's going to give you some specifics because she actually does the training. The important reason for you to know about this, there's a couple of If you've ever wondered why are they doing that or why aren't they doing this, we would love to have that feedback because we want to make informed programming. We want to know what you want. And we do some assessment of our student body, but we would love to have the assessment of the leadership as well. So we want to make sure that you know the door's open for that. And we're open to your suggestions and feedback and participation. The other reason is that both of these centers are partially funded by student fees. And so I want the student leadership to understand that we're very aware of that. We feel like it's our responsibility to be a good steward of those student fees. And so that's another reason that we encourage your feedback to us, and we want to let you know what we're doing with the trust that you've given to both of our centers. So I will turn the time over to Stephanie. She can talk a little more specifically about our programs. We do have handouts with full information and our contact information as well.
So some of the things that we're doing for spring semester, last year we partnered with the College of Arts and Letters and kind of revamped a conference that had been going for several years that was losing steam. And so we got an informal group of professors together and started just talking about some of the issues that the Gender Center deals with. And through that, we decided to do a conference, and we do it during Women's History Month. And this year it'll be the first Thursday and Friday of March. And we reached out states, and anybody doing research in any kind of sexuality or gender issues can come and present. Last year we had over 30 presenters from all over the nation, and we had 3 international presenters that came to ISU. And we had almost probably 300 participants over a day and a half. So it was a really well-attended conference. And so we'll be doing that in March. Part of Women's History Month, we also bring in Luna Fest, which is a series of short clips about women for women, sponsored by Luna Bar. And they have over 200,000 submissions, and they choose probably 12 out of that. And it's a really good film festival to come and view those submissions. And then we're also partnering with the Veterans Sanctuary to show a film called Service When Women Come Marching Home. With this latest war, women are becoming a part of history. And so we're bringing in a speaker, Laura Hill, who's an honored veteran that works in the White House, and she's going to speak. She's going to bring a colleague. Women in the military are facing different kinds of issues than they have ever before, and so they'll be speaking on that. Part of our programming that's geared toward men and women is going to be an art show, and last year we had it during Women's History Month, but I moved it to January so that everybody can submit pieces. And we also do a call for art for that, and that goes out to universities all over the nation, and people can send in their submissions. And it's going to be called the Museum of Me, and kind of focusing on how we're all unique and different. And so that will be in the Transition Gallery for the month of January. And then we'll also be having in February a lunchtime talk. I don't know if most of you know, but we do have a very renowned researcher in sex addiction here on campus, Cameron Staley, and he's in counseling and testing. And he was a consultant for Dr. Fell, and he'll be coming and talking about that for a lunchtime talk. As Stacy said, I'm a certified trainer for the Green Dot program. Have anybody in here gone through Green Dot training yet? Okay. Just a little bit of background on Green Dot. It was established in the University of Kentucky by a lady named Dorothy Edwards. She was a very well-known researcher. Her passion was ending the high statistics in college campuses for anything that had to do with sexual assault. Her and her daughter were both victims of sexual assault. And throughout her research over the years, she noticed that though she was getting recognized and campuses were starting to embrace talking to students about what they needed to watch out for and things like that. The statistics weren't going down. And so she wanted to look at why these statistics weren't changing at all. And so what she did was, instead of focusing on the victim or the perpetrator, she wanted to look at all of us as bystanders and how us becoming involved when we saw something, how we could affect when we come upon a situation. So the Green Dot Bystander Program is a series of 4 modules. We go through recognizing what is a red dot behavior, like anything that could be, whether it's the victim or somebody perpetrating something. We look at those red dot behaviors and learn to recognize those. And then we do a lot of interaction and teach people how to recognize your personal obstacles and overcome those and become a proactive bystander. It can be anything from as simple as bullying to sexual assault to partner violence, anything like that. And so the Green Dot program is a leadership program, and it's based on the theory that if we train 20% of college leaders, which is you guys can influence the other 80% to bring the ISU campus closer together and watch out for each other. So it's basically training you, if you see anything, to do something rather than nothing. It's a really good program. They just did a study. The program has been around for probably 5 years now. They did a study in Kentucky where it started, and in high schools there, sexual assaults went down 50% that had the Green Dot program. Schools that did not have the program actually went up, and that's really huge as far as lowering sexual assaults. So anyways, it's a really good program. We were hoping that those of you that haven't gone through their training can get involved. Is there any questions?
Senator Sheldon?
How would we get involved with the Green Dot program? How would we become Green Dot certified?
It's a 6-hour training, but we can break it up. We've done it where there's 4 modules, so we can do 4 separate, around an hour-and-a-half sessions, or we can break it in half and do 2 3-hour sessions, or we can do a full 6-hour training. And we can do everybody as a group, and we can set up a time that will work for everybody that's interested. We're very flexible. And you can contact me.
Well, I've been in front of the Senate before. Generally, I come here asking for money because I used to coach the rugby team. But, so this is a new adventure here.
Could you move the microphone down? Thank you.
I'm 6 months into my program, into my position now as diversity coordinator. So I'm really looking for help and support from the Senate as far as the center and what we can do. Stacy and I, we spent quite a bit of time trying to write a new diversity statement about what the center does. It was quite interesting. But the center is located at 129 in the Rendezvous. Probably many of you passed by. You've seen all the flags and all the things in there. It's a really relaxed place. And I really want to encourage you guys to come by, stop in, relax, have lunch, and just enjoy and talk with some of the students that come in. Diversity is very important on this campus. We have a very, very diverse group of people that are attending ISU. It's nothing new because I think one of the things we've always had that is a diverse group of people. And for me, it's important that we all get together, understand each other, and create a very positive environment for everyone. And to get the opportunity to learn from everyone that comes here. We have over, at this point, I think 55 international nations that are here at ISU, people from all over the country. So that's a valuable resource. And so my job is to help create some programs and services through the Diversity Resource Center that will help bring us together. And so one of the major things that I'll be working on that is coming up in November is a Diversity Week. And we'll have a speaker, one of our persons that came, used to go to ISU and finished up and is working in Utah. She will come back, Dr. Jacqueline Thompson, and talk about diversity. And then we'll have several panels that will discuss diversity. What is diversity? What does it mean? How can we come come together in a more respectful way for each other. And probably one of the things I'm really looking excited to hear is that we're going to have the psychology and the sociology department. They're going to do a part, Dr. Lynch and Dr. Hearn from the departments. They're going to talk. One's going to talk about the aspects of diversity on the social point, and one from the psychology side. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. A number of things that we'll be doing for that whole week that we will encourage you to attend. We'll have ministers. We call it diversity in religion. And so we'll have ministers from the community that will come and talk about what can they do to help improve diversity. And then our feature, we'll have a lady that will come in. There's a game called Keep It Real. It's a nationwide diversity game. It's very interesting. And the winner of the game, she's going to come in. She's going to present workshops. She'll present 2 workshops. One will be in the morning on the 14th for student leaders and faculty and staff, and then the other one will be in the afternoon for students to come. So we're going to be excited about that. And so what I do, excuse me, at this point in time is trying to fill things out, trying to find out what students want, what ideas that they have that can bring us together. We can do more cultural events through the center and do more training and so on. So it's going to be really important that, if at all possible, that I get your help, your ideas, and your thoughts about what we can do. We also will be doing the Martin Luther King Jr. March, so we will do that. And then in November also will be Native American Month, which we'll be working with the Native American organization there. One of the features still, if you've ever heard of the Code Talkers, if you have ever heard one of the Native American students will be doing the Code Talkers. Excuse me, the Code Talkers were used in World War I, World War II as a code that was never broken during the wartime. So it's a really interesting. And then in February we will have Black History Month, which is another time to try to for people to express and for you to learn about different cultures and what's going on. So those are the things I'm hoping to do more of, getting these student organizations to get involved. One of the big things reason we rewrote the mission statement is because the original statement indicated international and students of color. The Diversity Resource Center is open to everyone. And it's very important that we get that out there, that everyone is welcome. We want everyone to come to the center so that we can interact, we can learn, and we can do some really good things. So it's open to everyone. So that's one of my biggest goals, is trying to make sure that everyone realizes that, hey, come to the center because it's there for you. So, any questions?
Are there any questions? Senator Valencia.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mine's kind of more of a comment, but the Diversity Resource Center to me hits a little more close to home because I've worked with them. And thanks to RAM, I've had doors open for me, and I think a lot of people need to get more involved and realize what they're culturally based. And I got involved with them because of my culture and because of Halo, but it brings everyone together, and I think it's cool to learn about other people's culture and what they do. So it's just something that all of us, I think, need to embrace, as well as getting to know more about the Gender Resource Center and things like that. So just get involved with them. They're pretty cool. Ram's pretty cool when you see them around, and so is Dr. Evans. So they're just a really cool group of things, and it helps you learn about a lot of the cultures on campus, because thanks to them, I've met a lot of people, and you get a lot of doors that open for you, and they can come up to you and know that you will do something for them in return. So mine's just kind of a comment. Thank you.
Is there anyone else that has any questions or comments?
I have one more comment. I'm looking at every one of you, and so I have a big window that looks out, and I can see everybody goes to that door right across from the library, the center. So I'll see you, and I'll come and get you. So I just let you know. I will remember. I may not remember names, but I remember.
Well, great. Thank you so much for coming. We really appreciate your time. Next on the agenda is our president's report, but President Sun is on official business tonight, but he sends his regards. Next, we have our chair and committee reports, the Finance Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. We didn't really do too much today in finance, just something short and sweet about a match deposit for Idaho Progressive Student Alliance. And their match deposit was for a little bit more, but they have reached their max for match deposit. So they are asking for $43.67. Does anybody have any questions about them? Okay. So I move to approve the match deposit for Idaho Progressive Student Alliance for $43.67.
Seconded.
Senator Valencia moves to approve the match deposit for the Idaho Progressive Student Alliance for $43.67. Seconded by Senator Moniak. Roll call.
Senator Beckstead? Yes. Senator Buchelman?
Yes.
Senator Cleveland?
Yes.
Senator Johnson?
Yes.
Senator Kemmerer?
Yes.
Senator Knall?
Yes.
Senator Knapp? Yes. Senator Mandel?
Yes.
Senator McConnell? Yes. Senator Moniak?
Yes.
Senator Perry?
Yes.
Senator Pitcock?
Yes.
Senator Ricks?
Yes.
Senator
Yes.
Sahene? Senator Sheldon?
Yes.
Senator Smith? Yes. Senator Thayer?
Yes.
Senator Underwood?
Yes.
Senator Valencia?
Yes.
Senator Winters?
Yes.
Motion passes. Is that it for Finance Committee?
That is all I have unless anybody has any questions for me.
Seeing none. Rules Committee?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Bill 478 is being held in Rules this week. There were some concerns that the Rules Committee had with the wording of the bill, and how it conflicted with a current rule. So Senator Cleveland is working to revise the bill over the next week, and then it will be reviewed again by Rules Committee, and then possibly released from Rules next week, where it will then be open for discussion. So just some revision this week on some wording, and then we should hopefully be able to discuss it next week.
Are there any questions about that process or for rules? Appointments and review.
So appointments and review will be meeting sometime this next week. We do have an appointment for Curriculum Council, and so I'll be sending out an email tonight seeking times that you will be available at the end of this week and the beginning of next week. And then I'll talk with President Sun a little bit more and see if I can get those appointments for Elections Commission. I know that he has been working on that, and he's had some shortfalls with that because he did have 2 people to approve and then 1 person pulled out, so that's kind of our issue. But just look at your email and that'll be happening. I have nothing else to report.
Are there any questions about that? Outreach Committee.
This last week we met, and one of the things we discussed was making information about our Senate meetings more open and public to the general student body, and we were discussing possibly having a table in the Rendezvous or the Sub where we could have volunteers at lunchtime just stand there and man it and hand out information about what we'd be meeting about during the current week about it all. So we're just kind of wondering what your guys' idea or view on that would be, if that'd be something anyone would be interested in to volunteer for. We'd look for 2 or more people to man it each day or each week, whichever day that we choose to do it. So any concerns or questions, you could email me, or if you want to ask me right now, go ahead.
Senator Valencia?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Can we do like a free T-shirt table? Because all the students get their shirts anyway, but I feel like regardless of how many times I tell people to go to the Senate office to get them, people still don't go. So can we do that?
Can we?
I don't see why we couldn't have a booth that serves both those purposes.
All right.
Get more people there?
Okay.
Any other comments or questions? Seeing none. Communications Committee.
Thank you, Chair. I have a couple important announcements, but first we have some special presentations, and I'd like to yield time to Senator McConnell for that.
Senator McConnell.
Thank you. And thank you, everybody. First, these are in the Athlete of the Week, so I'll just go for it. For the Student of the Week, this student has received a double major in math and physics in 4 years. He was an excellent physics lab TA, and he was always going out of his way to answer students' questions during his undergrad. He speaks English and Mandarin, fun fact. So, with unanimous consent, I request that the Senate be at ease for recognition of Kevin Tsai as the Student of the Week.
Congratulations, Kevin. Thank you.
And next, we have our Athlete of the Week. This athlete is in charge of the offensive line of our football team. He is a model leader and outstanding student athlete. While the stats may not show his hard work, the offense wouldn't work without his line. With unanimous consent, I request that the Senate be at ease for the recognition of the Athlete of the Week, Jim Bagley.
Congratulations, Jim. Is there anything else from Communications Committee?
Yes. So Senator Sheldon and I worked on a script, and we are getting that approved for the video. But I will send it out to all you guys so you can see it too as well. So just let me know if you have any comments or questions about it, and then we'll send out a doodle for times that we can be filming to get all of the colleges at least together primarily, and then the bigger groups that we have some scenes with. So we'll make sure everybody's in that. We are working on getting all the poster supplies, so just keep your eye out. They should be by the end of the week, not only the paper and pens, but also the photos. So if you have time and you want to work on a poster for your college, that would be wonderful. And as far as the student and athlete of the week goes, we will be sending out a blanket email to all of the deans at request of the College of Education's dean and administrative staff. So we will be sending those to the admin so that they can nominate students as well, and also so that they know what's going on, because we will be having Faculty of the Month as well. So just know that. You guys can let your deans know, and just know in case they ask you guys if they have questions, we sent that out. So I can copy you on that email too. And I think that's it, unless there are any questions.
Seeing none. Service Committee.
So Service Committee met today, basically talking about the resolution that's going before the Senate today, and then service opportunities for people. So if you guys can't make it to the service opportunity on Saturday, the October 25th, please email me as soon as possible, because I am making other arrangements for you so that you can go to other service projects and still get that for whether or not it is on your service stipend checklist after today. But so you can have that service opportunity one way or the other. We've already had 2 people do a service project because they couldn't be there. I have another opportunity for that. So that way everyone's doing a little bit of service even if you can't do this. Because this is not yet on official yet, we aren't going to vote on a time for the service project until next week. So just kind of be figuring out what time would work best for you the morning of the 25th so that I can kind of get a best time for everybody there as possible, so it'll only take an hour. I don't want you guys having to do a ton, but I feel like this is a really important thing, and that way we're getting it done as quickly as possible, but we're still being efficient. So, anyone have any questions?
Seeing none. Senator Sheldon.
Is there an estimate on what time that might be?
Right now I'm looking at from 7 to 8 in the morning, or from 8 to 9. That way we're done early. You guys have all day Saturday to do whatever you want that way. You just have to get up early, which I know stinks, but it's one Saturday, guys, so I think we can sleep in another Saturday.
Valid point.
Thank you.
Seeing as the bill will remain in rules, we don't have anything in old business. but we do have Resolution 532, Service Project in New Business. Senator Smith.
In the Senate Resolution 532, written by Mackenzie Smith College of Arts and Letters, sponsored by Sam Perry Division of Health Sciences, Morgan Pitcock College of Arts and Letters, Daniel Moniak Division of Health Sciences, Kaylin Cleveland College of Pharmacy, Kendra Knapp College of Science and Engineering, and Nabeen Kanal College of Science and Engineering. The purpose of this resolution is to add responsibilities to the ASISU stipend checklists. Whereas ASISU senators are elected student leaders with the responsibility to serve the student body and the university with diligence, whereas the student service projects have the potential to better the student body, the university community, and the community at large. Whereas in the ASISU Senate Rulebook, Article 5, Oath of Office, it states, "I promise to accept all duties assigned to me by the Student Senate and fulfill my responsibilities with diligence. I will, to my utmost, promote and enhance the name of Idaho State University. Be it therefore resolved, we, the Associated Students of Idaho State University Student Senate, are in full support of adding the following requirements to the service stipend rulebook. Perform one ASISU sanctioned service project per semester." And if there is nobody who is against that, then I move to approve Resolution 532.
Seconded.
Unanimous.
Senator.
Clarification.
Senators.
How long on average is a ASISU sanctioned service project? Is it usually about an hour?
It would depend upon the service chair and how much they decided would be necessary, but I know for this year I'm going to try and keep them relatively short because I understand the fact that everyone has stuff going on and Saturdays are kind of your off day, and most of the time this would have to happen on a Saturday. So it will be relatively short, and you'll be given multiple opportunities if you cannot make it on the specific day to make up this service project in another form of service around the campus for the student body or the campus community.
Thank you.
Senator Thayer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Would SAB's Service Saturday count towards this?
Because that is not an ASISU sanctioned service project, technically that would not be, we could do that as a Senate, and that could be one of the other opportunities for students who are not able to make it to the ASISU sanctioned one, but this would be specifically ASISU sanctioning a service project that either we as an entire Senate can do, or we could even bring it up to other clubs if they would like to help us as well. This specific service project for the 25th is necessary because it in our resolutions from last year that we have to clean up the highway once a year, and so I figured if we got that done this semester, then next semester we would have a little bit more time and ability to think of a better or a more useful service project that could better the community or the university or student's life in any way that we see fit.
Thank you.
And point of clarification, when we signed up for the highway, it was once a semester that we would clean it up.
Okay.
Senator Perry.
Previous.
Senator Smith moved to approve Resolution 532, seconded by Senator Valencia. Roll call must be had.
Senator Beckstead? Yes. Senator Buchelman?
Yes.
Senator Cleveland?
Yeah.
Senator Johnson?
Yes.
Senator Kemmerer?
Yes.
Senator Knall?
Yes.
Senator Knapp?
Yes.
Senator Mundal?
Yes.
Senator McConnell?
Yes.
Senator Moniak?
Yes.
Senator Perry?
Yes.
Senator Pitcock?
Yes.
Senator Ricks?
Yes.
Senator Simmons?
Yes.
Senator Sheldon?
Yes.
Senator Smith?
Yes.
Senator Thayer?
Yes.
Senator Underwood?
Yes.
Senator Valencia?
Yes.
Senator Withers?
Yes.
Would anyone like to change their vote? Seeing none, motion carries. Is there anybody from the gallery that would approach the Senate? Seeing none, is there any other business that the Senate would like to discuss at this time? Senator Sheldon.
I know Courtney talked about this in caucus, but I'd just like to remind everyone that ASISU Theater Dance, as well as is the Symphony this weekend? Both ASISU Theater Dance and the Civic Symphony are ASISU promoted activities, so I would encourage you guys to try and get out to at least one of them. We pay these guys a decent chunk of change, and it'd be a really good idea to know where our money is going. And of course, it's always great to support our students.
Thank you. Seeing nothing else, Senator Perry.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
No, seeing no second.
Does nobody want to go?
Next,
We have to.
it's out of order. We still have the fight song before we adjourn. So.
ISU fight, go, go, go Bengals, go!
He doesn't want it. Senator Sheldon.
I move to adjourn. Seconded.
Unanimous.
Senator Sheldon moved to adjourn, seconded by Senator Pitcock. Unanimous was called. We will adjourn after roll call.
Senator Beckstead. Here. Senator Buchelman.
Here.
Senator
Here.
Senator Kemmerer.
Here.
Senator Canal.
Here.
Senator Knapp.
Here.
Senator Rendall.
Here.
Senator McConnell. Here. Senator Moniat. Here. Senator Perry. Here. Senator Pitcock.
Here.
Senator Ricks.
Here.
Senator Sahimi.
Here.
Senator Sheldon.
Here.
Senator Smith.
Here.
Senator Thayer.
Here.
Senator Underwood.
Here.
Senator Valencia. Here. Senator Withers.
Present.
Adjourn.
Well, actually, okay, but. I don't got no notice to do that.